Oh well, you can't predict for God. Because God said any situation you see yourself, say thank you to Him. What inspired me is that all I asked my God to do for me, He's been doing it. Health-wise, monetary, child, everything that can make somebody be happy in life, God has provided for me. So that is what inspired me to be working for my God. Because God said if you are working in His farm, He Himself is in your farm working. That is my inspiration.
It's about my mom. She was actually coronated the Ezinne of a Catholic Church. It's actually the highest coronation of Catholic Church that what you can see in Catholic Church. And I'm happy she has lived to be coronated this today.
What specifically has distinguished her by growing up as your mother? What has distinguished her as
Actually, since I was a child, I've known her to be training some seminarians in the major seminary. With the little she has, from as far back as 1991, which I have grown to know. I actually don't know how long she has started it, but from 1991, I was opportune to know that she was training some seminarians in major seminary. With the little she has 8 children. She's a civil servant, and everybody knows what civil servants earn. But with the mega salary that she earns, she's been able to train her children as well as getting others who are seminarians who are working for God to be inclined as her children. So I see that as a selfless service to the work of God. And in this Nigerian that we are today, based on the hardship that is happening in Nigeria today, that she could be that selfless to train a son to work for God. I think that's the selfless service, because she's not rich. I cannot say she's wealthy. I cannot say she's rich. But with the little she has actually made up her mind to train somebody for God. So I think that's a selfless service, and I think that's kudos to her for what she has done.
There seems to be elaborate gatherings today. How did that make you feel?
Wow, I feel so elated because I wouldn't actually say she's the oldest in the church. For those who they coronated today, she's not the oldest. But when you work for God, either in secret or in open, God sees you. And invariably man sees you, because God is spirit. He can actually not come down as a man to see you. But that which you think you are doing in secret, because you're actually working for God, people will see you. And in one way or the other, they will come to acknowledge, because she's not the only woman in Nsukwa today. But she was actually acknowledged for the work that she has been doing for decades. I can't say it's a decade, but for decades today, she was actually acknowledged for what she did. I think I am actually happy for what she did and what she's still willing and ready to continue doing, because there are actually so many people in this village who are wealthier than she is. But it's between you and God, who knows what is good for you and what is for God. And she has brought out herself to work for God. I think that distinguished her from every other person who is in church today or who was in church today, that made her outstanding for what she was coronated for today.
Her daughter, what inspiration are you drawing from that?
There are so many inspirations to draw from her. Like I said earlier, she has 8 children, and she has worked outstandingly to make the 8 children what she feels is utmost for them. Irrespective of that, she has actually worked in church.
To be given such an honor, you have to have led and still living a life of example, which Yoruba people will say exemplary. There are many women in the church There are many men in the church. But for the parish to deem it fit that a certain number of people should be so honored, it's not by default. It's by, your mom is over 70s and she's been in this community from birth. Agreed work, marriage, chukai way. But everybody here knows her. And what culminated in the event we are experiencing today didn't happen overnight. She's been washed over 70 odd years. People have had experiences with her. People have had good memories of her deeds. That's why we are celebrating today. So in one word, or probably should I say a phrase, an exemplary life led us to where we are.
The church, what is good for them, to work for God, to build for God, to build in humanity, to build for seminarians, to build for God can actually not come down for himself to work for himself, but he will work through men. And from a little child, I have seen her. She was actually working for God, and she has built men who are in today reverend fathers. As the father said in church,
one word or just a sentence, because if you say one word, I don't think it's going to be enough. I want to say that mother is supreme. Yes.
He didn't know her today as a mother, but he has known her for years that she has been working for church. And I wouldn't stand with father because that is the aspect that father has known. I am her child. So I think I have known more than what father is actually aware of. And if I say I have not learned from that, I think I'm actually deceiving myself. So because she has actually worked for God, with the 8 children she has.
My parents are pagans. But at the time I was born, Catholic was the only church that was in existence. To the extent that we were in a village very far away from where Catholic Church is. We go more than 20 kilometers to see church. Within the Nsukwa clan, within Anyocha, from Agwashuku to Nsukwa, we had only one priest, and that is the only priest that visits the area. All those places. The Reverend Father Oyibo, San Oyibo man, he comes maybe once in a year. You can imagine that. So because God has made it possible for me to be a Catholic, that is why
she has pushed herself further with the mega salary she gets from civil service. I think that alone is a tutor, is an inspiration, is a mentor for me to continue with. That I have to. Doesn't mean I have to stop there for working for God. Doesn't mean because I earn little salary then I have to end there. I have to remember that actually in working for God, there are people in my community who actually need my service, who actually know that I have something to do for them. The money may not be as much as I would want to give to them, but the little way I can, I think I should do the best I can based on what I have learned from her.
In the final analysis, there is a generational gap between your mother and you. What significant observation have you seen in the shifts in Christianity, piosity, that you think you can still marry together?
In the present world, I wouldn't categorize or I wouldn't sideline it to Catholic Church because I'm a Catholic. But generally, I think churches today are gearing towards, are pioneering towards, are working towards just the economical aspect of life. But I want to let the world know it actually doesn't end in money. It actually doesn't end in funds that you can raise. I am a nurse today, and I can tell you that psychotherapy works beyond what money can afford. So I think it's time we work towards bringing those in our age group, in our generation, in our peer group, with the little we have. If it has to do with psychotherapy, if it has to do with sociological upbringing, if it has to do with economic upbringing, if it has to do with whatever you can do to bring those, you actually personally, I can't go out to those who are within the community, but those who are within my reach, those who are within where I live, and this Nsukwa where I know I belong to, where I am welcomed. I think it's good we bring them close to ourselves.
Having bestowed such a title on my mother, you never know the impact your lifestyle, your personality has on the next person. So it only behoves on me to be more conscious of what I do, and then whatever it is I do, it should be to uplift the living standard of the people around me, to better the life of others, to influence them in the positive direction, because our lifestyle speaks more volume than what we say. So it just draws consciousness. I am happy about it, and that's it.
Growing up, what is your experience? In what specific ways do you think she has exhibited articles of faith?
Wow. Growing up as a child under my mother, as a child I met a devout Catholic. I remember as a child far back in Ezinne, I think every morning, every time 5 a.m. The only time I woke up 5 a.m. I know my mom is leaving for morning mass, and that hasn't ended until she started experiencing some health challenges where she can no longer go for morning masses. My mother is just she and God. She's never taken me to go and see any native doctor. It's only whatever happens, she says put it in prayer, and she's lived it. She's lived it to, you know.
I said in church today that parents shouldn't teach their children to remain in the village, because some persons go to school. Like, I think, for instance, this is where I come from, this is where I know. In Nsukwa Grammar School, they go to the primary school in Nsukwa, maybe another primary school, they go to Nsukwa Grammar School, and I think that's all. No, that's not all. You go extra miles to reach out to. For instance, in a class, you have 20 persons. You cannot say that 20 persons in your class, that 20 of them remain in Nsukwa. It's not possible. Reach out to them. You can't say because someone has 20 naira better than you have, that person is the person that's actually doing more than himself or herself because he's not calling you. No. Reach out to the person. The response the person gives to you, that will reiterate to you what the person thinks, or what the person feels, or what you as a person feel in his mind, and what the person has for you.
It is God, and God, and you can see in all we have done, in all we've been, she's been there for us. She's never given in. A lot of persons, if you know the experience and the knowledge of what it's been all the while, would have buckled, but no. At every point in time, she will say, you never know what God has in store. Don't give up. So yes, it's been her lifestyle. It's a practical thing. She's practiced that thing as a true Catholic who has faith in an unfailing God. So yes, she's lived it, and I'd ask people to emulate her lifestyle. It's a life of faith. Not faith in humanity or just faith in humanity, but faith in God as a true Christian. As a Christian mother, I mean,
so I think for now that we're here, I think in my class when I was growing up in nursery school, we're 20. Unfortunately, one of them left us. That's Toby. I think at this time we have to reach out to others. Good, I am fortunate enough because my mother made me who I am today. I am fortunate to be where I am, but those who are not where they are today, I shouldn't blame it on them, because it's not everybody who has the opportunity that I had. So it's now left on me, the honor is left on me to reach out to them, to bring them up to the standard where I am. Although based on the economical situation of Nigeria today, I may not be able to bring them to where I am, but at least lift them from where they are. If they are on ground zero, I should be able to lift them from ground zero to whatever extent I can lead them actually to, but at least lift them from where they are. I can't wait on government, but actually, it's not every government who knows my mother's house. They can actually know that there's a Nsukwa in existence. But do they know that there's somebody called Mrs. Victoria Baadi in Nsukwa? No. But personally, as a human, I know there are persons who grew up with me. Now the honor is left to me, who have seen the light, to bring them up to standard where I am today, to meet up to me. And in bringing up those who are in my scenario, who are in my pair, to get to where I am. If I do that, I think I've helped a lot of humans to get to where I am. And with doing that, they actually can help others. And in doing that, I think we can actually get Nigeria to a better nation, a better Nigeria, a better humans to be what we actually wish they will be.
And the final analysis.